going back to Donald Trump's worsening mental decline and walking into walls and things like that, that's just the beginning of the list. We can go back to 2018 when he was slurring that speech about Jerusalem and recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and he was God bless the United States and all that stuff. Yeah. And so
yes, God bless
there are
United
so many
States.
examples of that where they're covering up his medical condition.
I'm sorry,
time
you're talking
and
about
time again. He just started attacking the questioner.
Where are you
what
from?
Kristi Noem should have done. Yeah.
Oh, sure. NBC. Yeah. Okay. It's a corpus that used to be habeas, and also, yeah, something which is. Yes,
it's
Jody.
a corpus that used to be habeas. That's exactly what he would do. What is habeas corpus, Mr. President? Well, it's a habeas and it's a corpus, and combined, they're habeas and corpus.
Did you see him walk into a wall yesterday? Mike Johnson had him.
Yes.
Hey, how many signings has he left without signing the thing? How much dementia has been exhibited in just the last 2 days? Yes, Jody.
I'm sorry, Representative Jerry Connelly has died from cancer.
Ay.
Saw that so much. I mean, my God, this disease. Yeah, I was saying, I was ranting on my show yesterday about this. My idealistic side came up, and I was like, you know, this disease affects us all. It seems like it's surrounding the news this morning.
Yes.
And I feel like we, as not just Americans, but as humanity, should make eradicating this disease a higher priority in terms of our politics, in terms of our economics, obviously in terms of our healthcare system. Why it's not like the number one priority every time issues are discussed is just beyond me.
It's beyond imagination that they're cutting cancer funding. They're cutting Medicare, Medicaid, their research on and on. I mean, this happened yesterday. This is Bobby Kennedy. So Kristi Noem doesn't know what habeas corpus is. The Director of Health and Human Services, take a listen to this. This is Bobby Jr. yesterday.
His source of hope is this research that you unfortunately are terminating. How can we possibly address his concerns and give hope to people across the country who are suffering for so many diseases when our government is cutting back on that research?
As I said, Senator, I do not know about any cuts to ALS research, and I'm happy to meet with you.
I just read them to you.
I will have to go and talk with Jay Bhattacharya and find out what the rationale was for those cuts. I just don't know about them until you told me about them at this moment.
Marco Rubio, do you know that all the people that bought the president's meme coin are, going to a dinner, all these foreign, whoever are going to this dinner for what? Marco Rubio, no, I'm not aware of that. I mean, that's it. None of them are aware of anything, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, plus, and RFK Jr. has proved himself to be just the one of the biggest liars in Washington, D.C., where there's an entire montage of clips that John Oliver played on his show of RFK just making up statistics, making up percentages about health, making up numbers that have no bearing in reality whatsoever. He's one of these, YouTube bro scientists who just comes up with nonsense, thinks they know everything about medicine and health, and doesn't know anything. And just what they don't know, they fill in with lies. And that's RFK Jr.
And somebody talked about, the specificity that Trump does, with numbers that are just complete lies, but the press just eats it up because, it sounds really like he knows. Yeah. And he doesn't. I mean, this one yesterday, Trump said the economy's doing great. Stock market higher now than when I came to office. We've had no inflation. There's no inflation. Gasoline's way down. Fact check, the stock market was higher when Joe Biden left office. Definitely, we still have inflation. Grocery prices have risen. Gasoline is not way down. No. I mean, just every single time he speaks, right?
Yeah, and going back to Donald Trump's worsening mental decline and walking into walls and things like that, that's just the beginning of the list. We can go back to 2018 when he was slurring that speech about Jerusalem and recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and he was God bless the United States and all that stuff. Yeah. And so
yes, God bless
there are
United
so many
States.
Examples of that where they're covering up his medical condition.
I'm sorry, you're talking about
time again.
God bless the United States.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Bornstein, the late Dr. Bornstein, admitted that Donald Trump dictated his own medical records while sitting in a limo outside Dr. Bornstein's office. There was just a report last week indicating that the White House is only posting 20% of Donald Trump's public remarks. What are they covering up?
Yes,
because it's happening
it's
every week. There
gobbledygook.
seems to be another story about this.
Dr.
And yet
Bornstein.
there's only one book only one Jake Tapper book, and it's about Joe Biden, who isn't even president anymore, who's not the fascist authoritarian, unraveling the United States government and destabilizing our society and our economy. And that's, to me, that's exactly where I land on this. If you're going to do a book about Joe Biden's mental decline, do a book about Donald Trump's mental decline, because I assure you there's way more evidence showing that, and evidence we can see on video.
Because we have eyes and ears.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Bornstein, who ended up dead. Accident, or was it?
Murder?
Thank you, Jody. All right.
Yeah, I mean, how many short circuits did we see during his rallies where he says I play the one on my show all the time where he can't even name the name of his own social media app, where he calls it Truth Central, which isn't even close. I guess he got one of the words right.
This was yesterday. You campaigned on lowering the price of groceries. How can you justify cutting food assistance in this bill? Trump. The cut's going to give everybody much more food.
Yes, okay.
The thing about groceries that he said to the Middle East, who was the leader in the Middle East? About groceries and it's a thing.
The president of the UAE, I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay. So I saved the nerd one for you. David said, Palpatine is building a second Death Star, but Jake Tapper's writing a book about Yoda being too old.
That's accurate.
That's for you, nerd.
Right, I love that.
That's accurate.
Yeah. The Death Star is going to be loaded with listening devices, and this is just another thing that gets piled onto the slag heap, and I wonder if anyone even cares about that anymore. You know, it seems like it's not resonating, and it should. All these things should be resonating. The story that I think is getting brushed off as being a distraction about Beyonce and Oprah and Bono and Bruce Springsteen, that's actually kind of serious, because that's the president threatening prosecutions against people who opposed him in an election.
Did you see the video of the congresswoman they're charging? She obviously was caught in a scrum. I had to watch Thom Hartmann with not straight face, it's a straight Easter ham face, but he does look exactly like an Easter ham with eyes. But my point is, Bob, he's with a straight face saying we take very seriously, anyone assaulting a police officer. After they just pardoned all the January 6th terrorists, paid off Ashley Babbitt's family, and literally, first of all, it's her job to do oversight, and so she didn't storm the building. She's allowed to be in there. She's obviously in the middle of a scrum, so some ICE agents pushing other ICE agents into her is her assaulting officers. I mean, it's just...
Well, this is the Trump MO. What happens with Donald Trump is all he needs is the slightest shred or appearance of something, and then he can extrapolate out the rest. He can fill in the blanks with disinformation and lies. That's what the whole thing with Zelensky and Burisma and investigating Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. That was just, he actually said to Zelensky, just announce an investigation and I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. That's what he's doing with this.
Republicans in Congress is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Do not vote every single one of these MFers out, because this is not just him. They're doing this in the middle of the night. Wallace said the bill they're hiding and voting on at 1 a.m. includes the last-minute $500 billion cut to Medicare. Yes, Medicare, not just Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, where's the media on this? I mean, the COVID vaccine, how many times have we talked, you and Jody and I, about COVID? Wobble says the FDA COVID vaccine shenanigans are actually untenable. What right have they got to prevent anybody from accessing health care that is proven safe and is available to the rest of the world? I pay through the nose through my health insurance. You're damn right I'm going to demand the vaccines I want. Well, we have yet to see how this works, right? Them limiting it to only people over 65 or with a pre-existing condition or whatever, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you watch. I mean, they were denying up and down when RFK Jr. was up for confirmation, denying up and down that he's anti-vax, denying up and down that he's going to ban vaccines. And here we are. They're just moving the ball a little bit further down the field, incrementally boiling the frog, as the saying goes. And this is just another move toward getting rid of vaccines that we need. And the horrendous part about this, other than denying people access to the COVID-19 vaccine, is the fact that they're continuing to demonize mRNA vaccines, which obviously is the kind of vaccine that the COVID vaccine is. And that is being developed now to cure all kinds of cancers. I mean, there are promising developments with mRNA vaccines for things like pancreatic cancer. And at the same time, the Republican Party, the MAGA Republican Party, the MAGA Congress, the MAGA White House is in the process of demonizing mRNA vaccines. It seems like they're actively wanting people to just keel over and die.
Yeah. We're going to go back to the COVID. I mean, it's like a recurring nightmare. Like, I just can't. And by the way, the media is still on not just the Biden book, but Democrats. Democrats are to blame. Oh, Democrats covered it up, blah, blah, blah. I mean, can I just say, this one, I loved a lot of them, but do something, blue skies. Some people need a painful dose of reality. Democrats didn't screw up their campaign or the election. The people did. Dems warned everybody explicitly exactly what was going to happen. The people didn't listen, and Dems were so right. Expecting Dems to save them after leaving them with zero power in Congress is a total abdication of responsibility. It's 100% the responsibility of the people to restore their democracy, and now it will take much more than voting. Do something. Thank you. It's just this constant, whether it's Biden or Democrat bashing, is making me crazy, Bob. You know, I mean, it's just that's going to be the whole test for 2028. Apparently, is making Democrats flagellate themselves on camera, right? Oh yeah, yeah, and that's one of the major reasons why we're here. The Jake Tapper book sidelines, I think, one of the most egregious reasons why we're in this fascist authoritarian government right now, which is that the news media continued to treat Donald Trump after January 6th, after the disaster that was his COVID response, after all the things, 2 impeachments, they continued to treat him as though he was just a normal candidate. Yep. Just a regular old Republican running for office. We're going to cover both sides and draw these false equivalences. He was writing this hit piece when he moderated that debate. Yes, he was. He was already writing this hit piece on Biden. I mean, the media just agreed not to challenge Donald Trump on fact-checking or lies or anything like that. First of all, what do you mean Democrats covered it up? They pushed him out of the race after the media essentially pushed him out of the race. So, everybody's got their own sort of ego and agenda, I think, in this, and I just But I mean, then you roll into the mix the fact that CBS is in the process of essentially trying to bribe Donald Trump so they can go through with this merger. There was news about that out yesterday. Except on the phenomenal what's happening. Right on the other side, Bob. This one, somebody tweeted, "Wake up, America!" So first, the producer of 60 Minutes quit. Now the head of CBS News quit. Do you see the pattern here? Or are you going to keep looking the other way? They're censoring the news, and that's why independent outlets like you are more important than ever. I mean, last one. And like you, especially. Here's a book idea, Original Sin, How the Corporate Media Normalized a Corrupt Felon and Paved His Way to a Second Term. And that's why, we were saying, it just, please support Randy Rhodes' Substack. As I said, Bob, earlier, she's just revealed she has lung cancer. I mean, her whole journey, and that she wasn't screened for it, just like that Joe Biden obviously wasn't given this test so I mean, there's so many things to talk about in terms of our healthcare system, right? And, Trump and Republicans are making all of it worse. Right, and you may have mentioned on the show last week that I just had a colonoscopy, which is something that I strongly recommend. If you're over 45 years old, don't just rely on the poop in a box test. Yeah. Get yourself a colonoscopy. It's a couple of days of discomfort between the prep, which they have tablets for now. You don't have to drink that awful liquid anymore. Oh. And then you go in and, the drugs are lovely that you get during the procedure. All right. You're talking to me because I am a poop in a box person. And I did pass it last time. I thought I failed it because I did it wrong, but I can't even do that right. But I passed.
It's slightly easier than trying to get your iPad to print.
I was like, you're supposed to twist the thing and not. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's very complicated. I don't know how they tell anything from just sticking that wand in there and just putting it in the little bottle of fluid.
It's so nice.
But
you need a hazmat suit after that.
Yeah, I think it's just the colonoscopy is the surefire way to find out if there's anything going on there in the poop chute area. So strongly recommend that. I don't know. I might be the only person strongly recommending colonoscopy.
Thank you for your whole
I'm Captain Colonoscopy. Thank you very much.
Oh, hey there, it's Stephanie Miller. If you're like me and you love sharp political insight, pointy, you like it pointy and sharp, bold opinions, and a touch of humor to make sense of these crazy times, have I got some fantastic news for you. The Political Voices Network is now on Substack. This is your new go-to for the best in independent media. We're talking about my show streaming daily with episodes on demand, the fearless of journalism of Brian Karem, the brilliant side-splitting satire of John Fugelsang, the unrelenting working class advocacy advocacy of Rick Smith, and so much more. Here's the best part. Subscribing is so easy. You can join for free or go to the extra mile. Support these incredible independent voices by signing up for a full subscription starting at just $8. You'll get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and a chance to directly fuel fearless, unfiltered media. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to politicalvoicesnetwork.com, hit that subscribe button, and become part of the movement keeping truth alive in an era of corporate media overload. Every subscription helps, especially yours. One more time, that is politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Sign up now. Do it.